let's go on an adventure. I'm going to be leaving Scotland in little over a week, and so I decided this is my last weekend to see everything that I want to see. I'm going to go on a long drive, and by long drive I mean about 7 hours of driving. I'm sleeping over at night, and yeah, and I thought I would video it because I want a nice log of some of my favourite places in Scotland, but also if anyone watches this, then they'll have a nice little guide of some pretty badass places that I love in Scotland. So let's go. So our first stop is this monument. It's on your way from Stirling to Doon, and this is the David Stirling monument, but he is the founder of the SAS, the Special Air Services. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous view. And this monument, Mr. David himself, is very important to me because I have seen the Northern Lights in the sky twice, and I've also been here once for a meteor shower as well. So this place is really quite special to me because one, it's gorgeous as you can see, and two, I've used this spot as my go-to when I need to see a beautiful night sky, and it's not far from Stirling at all, so it's really cool.
Camelot! 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 It's only a model. Shh. Knights, I bid you welcome to your new home. Let us ride to Camelot!
This is Doon Castle. It's got its own history, but I think my favourite reason I love this castle is its use in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I've done a video of me in here before, but yeah, I just thought I'd visit and see it again. Bye Doon. Bye Doon. See you another time. This is Brackling Falls. Beautiful bridge because I'm underneath it. This is a great little spot. So if you just go from where the bridge is, there's a little walkway down to here, to this plateau. What's really great about this whole area is that there's some amazing walks. There's a bit of forest. You get a mixture of everything here. There's broadleaf forest, there's river that you can follow, there's conifers, and then just a little bit up there is a beautiful, beautiful view of mountains. So this, just to walk around this whole area is just perfect if you want to see a mixture of every kind of habitat. It's absolutely beautiful. we have reached Fort William. You just saw me drive through Glencoe. So I think the next stop is a place that I have never been to. And I've lived in Scotland for 3.5 years. We are now going to Loch Ness! So I'm currently at something called the Caledonian Canal, and it goes from Loch Ness that way all the way, and it basically connects two lochs. Well, not just two lochs, it connects the west coast of Scotland to the east coast of Scotland. So I made it to Loch Ness! There's Loch Ness! Hello! What do you want? I've not got anything! So I'm driving to my next destination, and I've been driving for about 20 minutes, and I'm still next to the loch. It's still just right there. Oh well. So here's something I'm pretty excited about. The Loch Ness exhibition. So I bought a ticket to go to this, and I'm really excited. Don't judge me! What I find so fascinating is that the loch itself is pretty deep. So like around the edge it's got this really shallow section, and then it just drops off about 200 metres to this flat silty bed. A better example of what I mean by like it just being shallow and dropping. So back in the car now. Apologies for that. It was way too dark in there, so I couldn't video anything. But it was interesting. How the loch was actually created, and it was basically Scotland isn't the same rock strata as like the rest of the UK, and it's like the connection of it is what caused all the mountains in Scotland to be created, because it's two tectonic plates combining, and then it's all like crumpling up, and that's what makes all the mountains. And so the loch is right in the middle of that kind of connection, that line. And also it was like created through like the glaciers during the Ice Age, just scraping through that area, so that's why it's so deep apparently. And then it went on into a bit more about the folklore of like how long people have been saying that there's monsters living in this lake and stuff, the research that has gone into this lake just to find out whether there's a monster living in it, and then how the fact that people have wanted to know whether there's a monster has made people actually do so much research into this lake, doing sonar and doing water testing and all the amount of science that goes on just because of this folklore of this monster that lives there. So it was really interesting, and I'm kind of glad I went, although I did feels a bit sad having spent like an hour in the dark when it's such a beautiful day. Those are haggis and black pudding fritter thingies. They're going to be tasty. As you just saw, I just had some amazing food. It was way too much food though, and now I'm going to go to my final destination of the night and sleep. And so I've reached my destination for the evening. So when I first came to Scotland, I came to the Cairngorms for a weekend, and this car park is where I stayed. And so I thought, might as well stay here again. Look at this view. Sun's a bit bright. Can't see. Nope, it's too bright. But yeah, it's gorgeous here and lovely. So I'm going to stay here for the evening, sort my car out. It's been about half an hour and I've got myself set up for the evening. Do you want a house tour? So we have the front room that's got my shoes in at the moment. So that's like the porch. We then have the living room, which I've taken. It's a bit too sunny in the living room, so I've resided myself into. Come with me into the bedroom, which is my duvet, just kind of displayed out. I've bought myself a pillow that I've chucked there. So I'm just going to relax and sit and read, and I'll wait for the sun to go down. Hopefully it'll be a nice sunset. So I just had a bit of a long nap. I don't know what time it is, but I woke up and I knew I needed to show you guys the beautiful sunset and then call it a night and see you guys in the morning. So good night. Night guys. See you in the morning. Morning. Time to start the day and we're leaving this beautiful view. Bye Kingdoms. Look at it. It's so cool. That's amazing. So I'm at my next destination. This is the Hermitage. It's near Dunkeld and Pitlochry, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful mix of everything, really. So this is the Hermitage, and don't be fooled. It looks like a brick wall. It's not, it's a door. Come in, because you will miss out on one of the best views ever. So I've just stopped off in Dunkeld to find the Burnham Oak, which is a 500-year-old sessile oak tree. And what I love about the walk to the oak is that they have signs saying, like, it's not me. So there's a big tree here. And so they've got signs just saying, like, it's not me, I'm not the Burnham Oak, I'm just a sycamore tree. And this is the old girl herself, the Burnham Oak. Look how living relic of Burnham Wood. Medieval forests that once grew along the banks of Tay. The wood was immortalised by Shakespeare in his play about the Scottish King Macbeth. So I've not actually heard Macbeth, and I'm probably going to give you a very bad description of what it is. But the three witches made a prophecy against Macbeth. An army will come to him and they will use the branches of the Burnham Wood to camouflage themselves. Or Shakespeare got inspired by the Burnham Wood. So this beautiful oak used to be part of a massive wood that followed the entirety of this river, of the River Tay. I think it's the River Tay. And this is the last surviving one of these trees that Shakespeare wrote about. So yeah. to give you a size comparison. I'm 1.5 meters tall. And this guy, Burnham Oaks over there, this is the young pretender. This is a sycamore tree that looks about the same size as the oak, probably is, but it's actually only 300 years old, not 500, so it's a bit of a youngster compared to the actual oak. But yeah, still pretty big. Another stop, Scone Palace. How fancy. Apparently it's where all of the Scottish kings were crowned. I'll go in a bit. I'm going to stop off and get something in the cafe. Something in mind that you have to eat when you're at Scone Palace. They have big hugs. Big hugs. When you're at a place called that, you need to eat this and enjoy that. This is awesome. So just had a quick wander around the actual castle or palace. Couldn't really video in there. I got some video of the main reason I wanted to go in there. There was a photograph that I saw on their website when I was just searching for things to do. Oh, how lovely! Of two girls, of Elizabeth Murray and of Dido, Elizabeth Bell, and it's quite famous. Well, not famous, but it's well known. Apparently, I didn't know about it, but it's of one of the girls is of mixed race, and it's just she's dressed up in all of the finery at the time, and it's a brilliant story about this cousin of the Earl had an illegitimate child of a slave, and then brought up the cousin brought up the girl, and she was part of society in some way, obviously not completely, because at that time mixed race kids weren't, sadly, but yeah, it's an amazing story, and I found it quite fascinating, so I bought the book of it. So I'm going to read about it, and I got a quick snap of the actual painting so you can have a look. But yeah, I thought it was really good, and it's still lived in, so you can only go around the bottom grounds, and it's just kind of like your general manor. Quite good. But yeah, and now I'm going for a walk around the gardens because it's a beautiful day, and they have a kitchen gardens and a walled gardens, and as I've learned anything from my mother, kitchen gardens and walled gardens is where it's at. Those are the best places to go. So let's go. So I've just learned something very cool. There was a guy that was born in the Scone area, the area of the villages around this area, called David Douglas, and he was a gardener here at Scone, and he went off and became a botanist, and he introduced a large number of our well-known flowers and trees into the UK. So he introduced and was the first person to find the Douglas fir, which is a well-known tree. He also brought the Sitka spruce to the UK, and he also introduced poppies and sunflowers into the UK as well. How cool is that? So I was going to go into the kitchen gardens and then the walled gardens after that, but someone's left the gate locked. So instead I'm going to go hunt for that Douglas fir and then probably find the maze. Apparently there's a maze here. So cool. I'm going to give you another tree fact while I look for the Douglas fir. This behind me, that's a yew tree, my favourite tree. Yew trees, most of the trees in the UK, the oldest trees in the UK, are yew trees, because during the Victorian era we chopped a lot of the woodland in the UK down because of the Industrial Revolution. We chopped it all down to be burnt in our steam engines and all that. So yew trees weren't burned down because, or weren't chopped down, sorry, because they were, it was very superstitious around them. They were planted in graveyards because they thought they kept spirits away, or kept spirits happy. And they also were well known in the medieval period to be used for making bows. So it was a very special and sacred tree. So when it came to the Industrial Revolution and we chopped all the trees in the UK down, yew trees weren't chopped down because of the kind of ideology behind them. So that's why they're the oldest, because they weren't chopped down. I think it's cheating having a map of the maze. Let's see, can you guys do it? Get me to the middle, or wherever you're meant to go. No, if I just go through the exit, so. I kind of cheated and I looked at the map and I kind of knew you had to go around the edge. They shouldn't have the map. It's just cheating. Well, that's me done at Skane Palace. I'm talking to you while getting over a fence because I'm cool. Yeah, that's me done. And now headed to, I don't know. I think I'm done. I don't think there's anything else I need to do. So I'll probably either end this when I get home or one more thing. I'm gonna be out of breath. I've lived in Stirling for 3.5 years. I lived underneath this for an entire year. I visited this spot quite a few times, but I was never able to climb to the top. So that's what I'm gonna do today. Actually finally go into William Wallace's monument. So there's the Stirling Castle. Whoop, my fingers. Stirling Castle is just there. I used to live down there. Now I live over there somewhere. But yeah, this is Stirling. And I did it. We're at the top. Hooray! There's no place better really to end the video for today. I've had an amazing weekend. I've had an amazing 3.5 years living here and Stirling and the entirety of Scotland. I thank you, and yeah.